Welcome to another episode of Headphones with Sean. I did get another one sent to me by a company called SoundPEATS, which sells their headphones on Amazon. I reviewed one of their other kind of wraparound headphones earlier. There's a link to that video on my site. And this is incredibly similar to the last headphones that I reviewed, which are the Truefree 01s. These are almost identical in almost every way. So I kind of want to go over the differences and say, you know, which I think is the better of those two. So they both have a lot of things in common. They both have Bluetooth 5.3. They both have multi-point connectivity, so you can connect to two devices at once and toggle between them. They both have an app that you can download on your phone that has audio equalizers. Also, when you first turn them on, it'll just say connected. It doesn't tell you how charged the battery is, but if you connect them to the app, you're able to see the full battery of each headphone and some additional information through the app. They also both have 16.2 millimeter drivers, so they deliver a pretty decent sound. For the price, they're very good audio quality for the headphones. Now for some of the differences. With the Truefree headphones, these have a little bit bigger case. They're also a little bit bigger overall, the headphones themselves. If we take a look at those. So having that larger case and being a little bit larger also means these have a little bit longer battery life. These have 10 hours on a single charge and 45 hours of playtime with the charging case. The SoundPEATS GoFree 2 have 9 hours on a single charge and 35 hours of playtime with the charging case. So a little bit less, but both of them, that's very good. I mean, 9-10 hours on a single charge, I'm never listening to something for that long. Marathons I'm doing in under 4 hours, so I'm never going to need it to work for that long before I have a chance to charge it. But something that's nice about that is with these headphones that have longer battery life, you put them back in the case, you can actually go a couple weeks without having to even charge the case because you're not using the full battery life each time that you run. It's recharging when it goes back in the case, so you can actually really go a long time before needing to charge it at all with both of these. So these both, they really do a great job as far as battery life goes. The weight of both of these is also very similar. Outside of the case, these weigh 18 grams and the Truefrees weigh 19.5, so they're just slightly heavier. With the case included, these weigh 74.5 grams and these ones weigh 106. So again, a little bit heavier. This case is a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact, so a little bit easier to carry on your person. So that's definitely something that I like better about these ones. This is kind of an awkward case to carry if you were going to try and stick it in a running belt or something like that, where this one being a little bit smaller, a little bit more narrow, is kind of easier to fit in different places. These both come with the case and the USB-C charging cable. So what's nice about that too, USB-C that almost every device uses, you probably have some extra cables lying around. So if you were able to misplace or happen to misplace one of these, you know, just charged with the USB-C, which is convenient. I'm not sure if these two companies are related in any way, but these are almost identical headphones. The actual instruction manual is the same size. It has all the same instructions. These have the same commands with how you operate them. So that was the one thing, if you watch my video about the Truefree headphones, that I found a little bit confusing to use while operating, but you kind of get used to it. Similar like features in a car, you know, after you use it for a while, you get used to it. But basically, they're touch capacitive buttons, so they're not hard buttons on either of these. But what you do is you tap the right side if you want to increase the volume. You tap the right side once. If you want to decrease the volume, you tap the left side once. If you tap it twice on either of them, that pauses the song. And if you do a long press on the left side, that goes back a track, and a long press on the right side goes forward a track. They also both have 4 microphones, 2 in each, to help try and cancel out some of the noise if you're making calls using these. I've really only used them for running. I haven't done any types of calls with them, so that's really what I've been testing them for. That's what I'm using them for. Generally, when I'm home, I have a pair of AirPods Pro. I prefer to use those for making calls. The sound cancellation is better. You know, the sound quality is better. That's obviously a much more expensive headphone, but I don't like using them as much when running because they're an in-ear earbud. So even with transparency mode, that works kind of awkwardly. I don't really like using them for running. I'm also worried about them falling out of my ears, and that's something where both of these really excel at, is comfort when you're wearing them. It just kind of sits right over your ear. Your ear is still open to the outside world, so you can still hear what's going on around you. If a car is going by, you can still hear it, as opposed to those AirPods when they're clogging up your ears. you have to put it in transparency mode, but then I found that if it's really windy, that can really mess with the microphones, doesn't sound that good. So these still allow you to hear things as well as having good sound, since there is a real driver in here that's putting sound into your ear, as opposed to bone conduction headphones, which just kind of vibrate on the outside of your head. So those don't have as good sound quality, not as much bass as these ones do. So the sound quality on these is very good. There are two main differences though between these two that really makes me lean towards these ones over these ones. And in addition to, you know, the case being smaller and more convenient, that's not really that big of a deal to me, since I don't really bring the case with me ever when I'm going for a run, especially with 9 or 10 hour battery life. But if you are traveling and need to put the case somewhere, this is more convenient for that. But the other really big difference is, my main problem with these ones, the Truefree 01s, is that they don't have a waterproof rating. And since they have those touch capacitive buttons, if you get really sweaty or like your fingers are sweaty, the buttons don't work as well, and it can start changing songs without you doing anything. So that was kind of annoying to use in that respect. These ones have a IPX5 waterproof rating. And the other thing that I didn't like with the Truefree ones, there's not really clearly indicated where you're supposed to press on here. You can just kind of press anywhere on there to tap it, but sometimes you might do it up here or down here. That was a little bit, you know, annoying to use. Whereas with these ones, it's clear. You can see right where the logo is, that's the button. So even though it's still a touch capacitive button, it's really easy to feel that when you're running right to the button. You know, so it's very simple. It's a different texture than the rest of the headphone. You can actually feel it. So it feels like a physical button, even though it's still touch capacitive. So that really solves my two issues with the other headphone, that these work better when they get wet, and you have a not a physical button, but still a actual button you can feel when you're going to press it. So those are two things that I think definitely lean in this regard. The other big one is the build quality. These just look like kind of a more premium type headphone. You know, they got a little bit of shine there, but these kind of have that like silicone coating that probably goes with the fact that they have that waterproof rating. So these ones just kind of look and feel, fit and finish wise, a little bit more upscale than the Truefree. These ones are just all plastic. They're still flexible, but these ones also have a little bit thinner piece right here where it sits above your ear. They're very flexible. So I think no matter what shape ear you have, you're going to get a really comfortable fit with these. They just turned on when I put them on. Hold on a sec. All of a sudden I was listening to AC/DC there, so it made it a little bit harder to talk with Highway to Hell blasting in my ears. I do really like this style of headphone though overall, this over-the-ear type headphone, because it's very comfortable to wear. There's no pressure on the side of your head. It's not uncomfortable being stuck in your ear canal. You can wear these for a long time. The battery life's really good. It's very comfortable. But these ones have that advantage of just being a little bit thinner here, a little bit higher quality fit and finish, and the waterproofness and the fact that it has the shape of a physical button, even though it's still touch capacitive, makes these ones easier to wear, easier to operate, and I think superior in that respect. The price of these is very similar. These are $59.99 on Amazon. These ones retail for $74.99, so they're a little bit more expensive. They're actually on sale on Amazon right now, though, for $67.49. So there's about an $8 difference between these two headphones. So for the $8, I would definitely step up to these ones. I just think they're a little bit more premium feeling. The fact that they have that waterproofness, I know where to press the button on there. The case is a little bit smaller. So these are both really kind of punch above their weight as far as sound quality and usability. But comparing the two of them side by side, this kind of improves on the two weaknesses that I found with these ones. So I think that these are both very good value headphones. In a head-to-head matchup, I would go with the SoundPEATS GoFree 2 over the Truefree 01s. I'll probably be doing two more shoe comparisons coming up soon. I have a couple stability shoes behind me there. I have the Saucony Guide 14 and 15, the Asics Gel Cayano 29, and the GT 2011, and then the Saucony Tempest. So I've been running in some stability shoes recently. I have some overpronation on my right side, so I was trying to, you know, kind of correct that and see how it felt to run in some stability shoes. So we have quite the selection there. These ones being more heavy, kind of heavy stability, a little bit more lightweight, a little bit more bouncy, and then the Saucony Tempest skewing more towards even a tempo day shoe or a race shoe as far as stability goes. So I'll be doing a comparison of those soon, and I'll also be matching up some of my carbon plate race shoes, some of the newer ones that I got. Might be headed back to the track to try and do some fast laps in the Saucony Endorphin Elite. the Hoka Rocket X2. Always got to bring back the Vaporfly 2, and we'll see if I match other ones up that day as well. So that's all I have for today. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.